Welcome back to In Business. My next guest is one of Morningstar's finalists for Fund Manager of the Decade in the non-U.S. category, that is. And he's here now to tell us what he's watching in the global market and where he's finding investment opportunities in this environment. Dennis Stattman is Managing Director and Senior Portfolio Manager at BlackRock. Good morning to you, Dennis. This morning we heard new home sales highest level since 2008. Consumer sentiment a little bit better than expected. Are any of these signs making you more optimistic about the health of the U.S. markets?
Well, the U.S. is in a very gradual improvement in the economy. Some of the problems that were most acute are starting to be alleviated. We're in a better position with respect to credit. We're in a better position with respect to housing. But our belief is, unfortunately, the U.S. is going to be on the lagging end of the economic recovery that the world is experiencing right now.
Well, what are you investing in right now? Are you just solely with that forecast in mind looking at U.S. companies with most of their business overseas?
We run a very, very diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, and cash equivalents worldwide. We've chosen to pursue growth geographically. We believe that the developing economies are going to continue to lead this expansion, and therefore we've overweighted the emerging markets. We've overweighted Asia. And then within the U.S., you're right, we do have some companies that are more global in their nature, and also sectorally, we have somewhat defensive bets in the developed economies. Specifically, we see excellent opportunities in healthcare and telecom, where they're good companies at very reasonable valuations and dividend yields in many cases far in excess.
So you're not worried.
Bonds.
You're not worried about any kind of legislative changes complicating your investments in healthcare?
Well, of course, there's that risk, but it's been put in front of investors daily for a year now.
You think it's already priced in to pharma and to the insurance companies?
I think it's generally priced in. Of course, there are going to be some details that emerge that will be better than expected in some cases and worse than expected in others, but generally speaking, healthcare companies are available at the best prices that we've seen since the early 90s. And I think it's time to take a view that lasts longer than exactly what word is going to be in what legislation upcoming, and ask ourselves, where will these companies be in 3 years or 5 years? And I think we'll look back and say this was a heck of a buying opportunity.
What would change that position?
I guess it's possible we could have legislation that really crimps the profits of these companies, but I think that's in the prices.
Public options already in the prices, in other words?
Well, to some extent, but again, I can't forecast the exact future. And this is just one tiny little bit of a very diversified portfolio.
When you say you like emerging markets and you're overweight Asia, is that China, or are you also looking to some of the ancillary Asian economies, the Vietnams of the world and the Indonesias?
We have diversified exposure across a broad number of Asian markets. Now, while we believe the Chinese economy is driving growth in the world economy and in fact is enjoying an unprecedented surge in consumption right now, it's very difficult to invest directly in the Chinese market. Mm-hmm. So we've chosen to invest in Asia in general. Asia in general? Sure, across a number of countries.
How do you do that? What are you buying?
The biggest country to invest in is Japan, which is benefiting from growth in Asia. We can invest in Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia. There are a number of countries there that are investable.
So you're not going by sector, you're going by country there?
In terms of pursuing growth, that's what we're doing. Sectorally, we're also overweight energy and overweight materials because we believe that they will benefit from increasing consumption in Asia in general and China in particular.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dennis Stattman of BlackRock, for joining us.